and we win the Barley Insurance Racing Australia debut and the goal to be the world champion. Formula 1, I'm coming for you, Australia. Let's see what this hat can really do.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
And we are going to fulfill our dream to become the world champion. But of course, we have to start slow with the Haas F1. What can we do with them? Here we are, our pretty much the second run now. So hopefully we don't make the same mistake again. That'll be bad for us. I bet you won't want to.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
What mistake I am taught about? We'll talk about that.
Okay, we've been pushed down to P13.
Very soon, but for starting off our proper third run, we want to try and to put ourselves inside 2-2. Would be a very good goal for us to achieve. But here's a replay of a mistake. Straight after the turn 1, immediately a mistake, and then we almost got ourselves in a bad situation with Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc. We both had to split apart to allow Lance Stroll to get low. But unfortunately, so far our third run has not been the best one for us. We're gonna talk to them, but where are we gonna be? Double team at the moment. That's not good. So we now go back to the garage, refuel our fuel, put a new tyre on, and hopefully slap on the fattest lap.
I'm afraid we've dropped to P22.
Not good. So, yeah, it's not good, and we of course need to improve a lot, but we should have a slight advantage, especially with the car, who is in different destination, similar to the Hypercar, who also rather well, but hybrid, so hopefully we can find some way to showcase our skill of driving the Bastly era of the F1 2026. So hopefully that's something we can bring forward for the team as we now go to top the line. Do we find it? Do we find an improvement? Double team at the moment. There's still a long way to improve. My first season, don't forget, my debut. Bearman is suffered. Clearly you can see the big difference between myself and Ollie Bearman. Not good. Not good at all.
It's a new day, a new dawn, a new era for Formula One. This is the 2026 World Championship. New regulations, new cars, new fuels, new drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ride. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Hamilton, George Russell and Antonelli, Verstappen, Albon, Sainz and Isaac Hadjar, Gasly, Bearman, Liam Lawson and Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Lindblad, Fernando Alonso and Daniel, Bortoleto, Bottas, Stroll and Sergio Perez completes our grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And joining me in the commentary box this afternoon, the First Lady of World Motorsport, Naomi Schiff. As much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
We're just getting ready to our formation lap. We've had, for the first time, Charles and I shooting off. Not the best start we would like, but, you know, it'll be okay, I believe we should be able to make some place up. We now get ready to line up to the grid. What can we do? That's alright. Now, waiting for 5 races, like the season open in Australia, and it now underway with Charles Leclerc leading out the front, having a fantastic pole he achieved with both McLaren 2 and 3 and Lando Norris. It now in second, Piastri in third, and Hamilton behind in fourth, with George Russell. The expectation for Mercedes is not showing the case here in Australia, and both McLaren are balling out against each other, and it Lando Norris remain ahead of Piastri and on board with Danny, who now trying to take the opportunity on Ollie Behrman, who made a mistake, and it looked at the P16 to Behrman, obviously beaten up in a qualifier, and it now lopping back into P16. So we need to find out what happened to Ollie Behrman first before we overtook him, but right now we're on board with Danny, who now watching Tolopito be overtaken by the Hajar, and now ahead of her with the Piastri returning back ahead of Lando Norris and George Russell versus Lewis Hamilton for having a battle, and behind Carlos side watching everything unfold, and at the yellow versus Matt Verstappen, all generation versus the brand new generation, what them both can do. Tim Verstappen fighting way to drive brilliantly in the motorsport car, ultimately with the best engine in the department, but will that be showcased in this Australia with McLaren, who might have the best area on the F1 grid, and Ferrari, who now want to try and prove they are the best team in the Formula 1, with Danny Bridley, who now made a move on the inside, had a bit of a wobble, but he saved it and got himself ahead of Franco Tolopito, and now is chasing after the Hajar. It is showing a good play for Danny, and behind we got Aston Martin versus Audi versus Cadillac with Fernando Alonso, who now has a bit of a competition with Nico Hulkenberg behind, and we got Lando Norris, who now ahead of the Piastri, trying to hold the second place, and the Piastri, it now got a bit of a pressure from Lewis Hamilton, and maybe George Russell can get involved. And Borton Leclerc is now getting overtaken by Fernando Alonso. This is like a pattern one, a versus Jedi Master in a scenario with Fernando Alonso going through the inside. Borton Leclerc whipped the car on the back end, saved it, but he is now behind Fernando Alonso, and Verstappen is now ahead of Kimi Yellow and put himself up into P7, and McLaren are having a fight, and while that's happening, Verstappen has overtaken Carlos side. Matt is now carving his way through, and he is hoping to achieve a top 5 finish with Gasly, who is now in P10, holding back Lawson for as long as he can, with the Hajar, who should be completed for points, but will that happen? And while we are racing, Danny is now looking to make a move on Liam Lawson and put himself up into P12, and that is showing a promised opportunity to try and achieve that singular point, and that will be P10. But of course, we are completed again the most experienced one, Gasly versus Hajar, who should be in the best car, in the best position to be scoring lots of points So we are waiting to see what happens in this situation as we are approaching the lap 5. We are at the Hajar, who's currently now in P10 after overtaking Pierre Gasly. So what will happen when we get in onto the pit slow? It's Gasly now making a move on the inside, overtaking Hajar, and also we have Pierre overtaking Lando Norris, and Lewis Hamilton is fighting short Russell. You can see that happening in the standing, and we are watching Hajar fighting against Liam Lawson, of course, former teammate when Hajar late in the racing ball. And finally, we get to see the race start. Ollie Behrman quite quickly lost 2 places. That is unfortunate. We actually got one of the racing ball and the Alpine shot easily passing Ollie Behrman, and again another racing ball passing Ollie Behrman, but this time Behrman trying to defend it. But this is where Danny had managed to get apart, because Behrman had a bit of a situation, and Danny just went ahead and took it from Ollie Behrman, and now going to lap 6. We are now having a chance to make a double pound, overtaking Lawson and Ida Hajar, and we go through and taking P11. Wow, what overtake! Absolutely fantastic move from Danny, and now Hajar is behind, and we are taking off from Pierre Gasly, and we are hoping Behrman will also follow through, but he hasn't done that quite yet. And on board with Pierre, who's now eyeing for a move on Lando Norris as they talk now the outside, and Hamilton is now completing again to George Russell, 2 former teammates battling it all out. Silver Arrow 30, the red Ferrari 30 Mercedes, and behind at the yellow is now in P7 with Carlos at P8 and Albon P9 with Gasly in P10, but is that going to last long for Pierre Gasly or not?
The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done. There appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
What? Are you joking? There's an issue? No, don't do that to me, please.
Okay, mate, our fuel usage rate is higher than we need it to be, so please let's try and back off a little bit and make it last.
That's not good. That's not good.
Okay, touch wood, it seems like the fault has resolved itself.
The fuel issue. Oh, you're joking. That is an unfortunate news we just heard from the Haas. There appeared to be an issue, but apparently it's been fixed. So we'll see how that's going to happen. And we've got Mercedes and Ferrari overtaking McLaren. Up the P8, it's been double overtaken by Hamilton and George Russell, and Russell is now in 3rd. Hamilton in 4th, and Piastri in 5th. But the fight is not finished. Lewis Hamilton is now trying to take 3rd, and he does it. Russell is behind in 4th, and Lando Norris is heading off for Charles Leclerc. We should be okay, I think. You know what? Let's give it a little push. It seems that Danny didn't hear what his engine is saying, but there is confirmation that his car should be all good. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll touch on at some point. But the fight continues on for P3 as Piastri passed the short Russell for 4th, and now Charles Leclerc being the 3rd driver to bot this lap in lap 11 to put a brand new tyre on. So Charles Leclerc is doing a fantastic job, and Ferrari cannot afford to mess up this strategy for Charles Leclerc, and Russell is going to jump out, and it's just managed to nip ahead of the Max Verstappen, and Danny has also boxed in this lap, and it is a very good stop for Danny, but we are closer to Gasly, so hopefully this is our chance to try and maybe get a move done if we can quickly. But for appears that it's likely to be the one to run away from us, so we need to hope that he is starting to struggle and we can take the advantage as we're now on board with Jack. As they seem to be slowing down there. Good, we are all clear to push now. And finally, Danny now knowing that his car is ordered, which means he now can push hard as he can and take down for the point finish on his debut with the Haas in 2026, and Max Verstappen is chasing over George Russell. This might be a further good fight we are waiting to see that happen as we now try to attack Jack. Let's stay close within 1 second to be able to get the beast mode deployed for ourselves. We now drop Jack, we find it with Carlos, so this is going to help us out big time, but since we can manage the battery deployment and also taking advantage of the boost mode, but we need it as we now go into the best part of the track for overtaking as we could been a slipstream major apart on Gasly, overtook him, can he make a double overtake on Carlos side? Yes he does. Danny, what a move, he made 2 plays up. Wow, that is brilliant, but it also shows how powerful the boost mode is. Are we on board with Max Verstappen, who's actually rushing Russell, 30 Hamilton, those 3, I know it's going to be a spicy one if they fight very often, but unfortunately Carlos side going ahead to make a move on Danny, but Danny tried to defend but made a mistake on the exit, and that allowed Carlos side to pull up on the left side. Are we on the inside? Can Danny defend it? No, he does not. Carlos side is now ahead and back into P9 while Danny is behind in P10. But it's now Sawyer, Danny, Gasly and Hadjar. All 4 of them are fighting for that beautiful spot of P9, my favourite number, to hopefully we can try and get to for this season opener. Danny not giving up as they made the par on Carlos' side, fantastic work, but we all know it's not going to last long. But since we are waiting back very quickly, so we need to be very careful and try and manage to recharge in on the battery to be able to use it to help ourselves again to Carlos' side. But now we are going side by side and side has shut nip ahead of us and we almost hitting the back of him, which is not good for our fun win, but on board with Max Verstappen, who's still not got a part on Hamilton and Russell as them both continue fighting again. Well, the lap 17, and they've been fighting for quite a long time, so it's very exciting to see what will be the outcome for them. As Gasly, unfortunately, have been overtaken by either Hadjar and locked himself back into P12 and Sawyer to continue fighting against Danny, and Danny has locked the plate and Sawyer takes the P9 and we look behind into P10, but now heading into the final lap for Charles Leclerc as he's leading the race, and he is comfortably going to win it all with Lando Sutton, Piastri in 3rd, and Lewis Hamilton had managed to break away from Russell and Verstappen as them both are fighting now, and it is going to be a spicy one because we now got Kimi Antonelli behind, hoping to take par, but Russell managed to hold Max Verstappen behind, thanks to its power compared to Max Verstappen's car power. Of course, Mercedes known for the best battery, but Red Bull got the best top speed arguably, but we don't actually know for fact, and Danny had now got himself in a bit of a pickle against the Hadjar. Watching the Hadjar do again to Danny, and Danny chasing after Carlos, so this is it, come on, tell him. Oh my god, battery should run out, I hate battery. And we're on board with Hamilton, who caught up to Piastri. Hamilton go down the inside. Piastri, can he defend against his 7-time world champion? Yes, he does. And Charles Leclerc out the final corner and take the fifth lead for the season opener in Australia. Land another second place Oscar Piastri to the finish third, with Hamilton finishing fourth and Max Verstappen managed to just Russell and finishing fifth. P10 Shieldred. P10 Shieldred.
We'll see you in Park Fermé.
Oh, let's go. Well done. Come on, I'm so proud. Wow, for sure. Woo! Ahead of Behrman as well. Ahead of Behrman.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
Well, they kept us guessing during pre-season testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them drawn out here today, that they are the ones to beat, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc. Charles Leclerc on top.
Wow, what a season opener we already got for Australia. Hopefully we can have similar races like this in Q4. It was quite exciting. A lot of overtaking happening everywhere on the track. But hats off to Charles Leclerc for a fantastic win. And both McLaren finishing second and third after their spiking start they had in the race, and Hamilton finishing fourth. But Mercedes has been quite a disappointment, especially with the expectation for them. But the good news is Danny Bridley has scored a point on the debut, which is a massive deal, and hopefully we can continue forward the momentum and showing why Ferrari had made a mistake. So calling up Danny Joy, the Haas F1 team, completed again the Ollie Behrman. So we are having a pressure with Ollie Behrman because we are the one who is likely to be the candidate to join Ferrari in the future. But bring the end of the episode now. Hopefully I'll see you again in China. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It made the video do well. Peace out.